Hand Tools is brought to you by
EXO Auto Works. EXO Auto Works is Colorado Springs' home of the $40 synthetic blend oil change. Call now, 719-375-3232, or visit exoautoworks.com to make your appointment.
Call us today in order to schedule your $80 wheel alignment on most vehicles.
Madrid Maintenance. Madrid Maintenance offers excellent handyman service in the Colorado Springs area, starting at just $45 an hour. You can reach them by phone at 719-963-2020 or online at facebook.com/Madrid Maintenance.
Trevor's Beard is brought to you by The Beard Struggle. The Beard Struggle is his go-to for beard hygiene and styling products, so you should click the link below and use the code TLANE15 for 15% off your order.
Enharmonic Studios. Enharmonic Studios is a hybrid digital analog facility designed to be quality and affordable to anyone who wants to make history. Call today, 719-963-2020, or go to facebook.com/Enharmonic Studios.
From EXO Auto Works. Streaming all over the world.
Coming for you, globalist!
It's your weekly dose of toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity.
With Eric Madrid.
Because if too many people are just running around with their dicks out, it's called the Harambe variant.
And Trevor Lane.
No. A of Karens. Aha! Good evening, everybody. It must be Thursday because we're here. Welcome to Man Tools. As you can see, it looks a little different. I am sitting in the middle of the table by myself because Eric is on vacation down in Florida, hanging out, having fun. But that's all right. We have an awesome guest tonight to make things even more fun than they would be otherwise. So I'm not even going to fuck around with like what happened with my week or any of that shit. We're just going to jump right into it. And I'm going to bring him in right now. So please welcome the boss man from Lude Presents. Hey.
Hey, welcome. Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for hanging out, man. Tell us a little bit about you and your channel.
Yeah, definitely. So, a little bit about me. I'll tell you what, I don't know you guys well enough, but I would say I'm probably a lot like your channel. It's comedic, it tries to be. It's, current events, it's anything and everything. If I could, I guess I have two things going on right now. Like Rabbit Hole Show is, I like to say it's like a 1 hour drive, or a business lunch or whatever. You meet with somebody, you don't really know them that well. They might know about a topic or know about something, but it's just your conversation with them. You learn about them, you learn about their ideas, and you have fun with it. And that's what it is. Next episode, just on to the next. Just constantly meeting new people, learning about new things. Because I'm interested in it. So if people want to listen to it, great. If they don't, I get that too. So that's kind of what we're at.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I dig the approach there with like anyone who feels like coming on, just
yeah. So that's
hang out with us.
Going after it's like I want it to be like audience involvement. One with the company or whatever you say there, but I want to talk about things that they want to talk about, or it could be anything. I write things down. If I want to talk about we talked about Bigfoot the other day. So, if I want to talk about Bigfoot, I don't know anything about Bigfoot. I just reach out. Hey, who wants to talk about Bigfoot? Bring a Bigfoot guy on, talk about Bigfoot. It's kind of fun, actually. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I mean, some of these, I'm just kind of trying to, create content and get it out there, try to find new audience. But some of these topics already that I just kind of walked into have been fascinating. Like I learned about talked to a gentleman last night that made a bucket list and left his job, and for the last year he's traveled around the world and crossed off his bucket list. He's the top crosser offer. So and then a guy that wrote a comic book and learned about the comic book industry. So I mean, it's just very entertaining to myself. So that's why, I feel like if I enjoy it, I think somebody out there will enjoy it too.
Well, that's one of the things I like about doing this show too, is we I could count on one hand, since 2019, the number of guests that we've, have submitted. Like we do a little form, that I've said, no, we're good. And
Well, you
it's,
gotta weed them out somehow. I mean, everybody has their own way,
yeah,
but you can't just do anything.
and mostly it was like, I don't know, even through email, you can get like a vibe. And if the vibe was much like, I get people have products and services that they want to promote, and that's part of what they're doing coming on to podcasts and stuff. But sometimes you get the vibe that, like, I don't know, what
Too
the
deep.
thing you're pushing, I don't think I want to help you push.
You're in too deep. Yep, get out.
Yeah. So,
Uh, I don't know if this has happened to you guys, but I'm sure it has. Have you ever? I mean, now you're live, so that's one of the other things I didn't ask you about the issues with live shows. But have you ever done a show or an interview with somebody that you watched it back? You're like, might not want to put that one out.
no, like, I don't know. The worst thing we've run into is when I think we were only like 3 or 4 shows in. Um, one of my wife's friends' boyfriend was there,
Hmm.
and my wife was hanging out with her, and he just happened to be there on a Thursday night. And it was when we did the show down in my basement. So I'm like, "Hey, you want to come downstairs and hang out with us on our podcast?" And he's like, "Okay." And he came down, and for like 45 minutes, he didn't say a word. And it was, it was like, okay.
Yeah, that makes it tough. Tough. So, is that why you and Eric just kind of do it with you two? Because, like, I've worked on trying to get a lot of friends and stuff on here, but like nobody can ever commit to anything with that. Is that why you kind of just stick to you guys?
Well, yeah, yeah. I think, to have more, like, we've tossed around the idea of getting like a third mic, or even better to me would be, someone else to be a producer.
Yeah.
And then I
Well,
don't have to push the buttons, but so, we've tossed that around, but it's like, yeah, the I don't know how deep the talent pool would be here for something like that. I mean, we have like buddies that seem like they'd be cool, but again, it's like, they're like, "Oh, so every Thursday I have to be there?"
yeah, it's a commitment because like I said, I talked to my family about it first, made sure they were okay with it, and I say I don't know if this happened to you guys. You may have done it a lot longer, so maybe it's like what you've always done. But I told my wife this is like my midlife crisis. Like I'm at the age where I got bored, and I was like, I need something to do, and there could have been a lot worse out there that I could have found than trying to do a podcast.
That's true. That is very true. Yeah, it was, I, before we got back into doing the show, like I was telling you off air, and people that have listened for a while know that, we used to do the show on this internet radio station. Yeah, I don't know if you remember those.
Yeah, like Pandora type thing, or
No, it was like, it was literally like if you had dialed into the radio, except it was on a website. So
I don't know
it
what.
would it would play music, but it wasn't like Pandora where it would play, a playlist or whatever. It was
Okay.
like whatever song was going out, just like a radio station, was what was coming up on that website for you if you were listening. And they had some talk shows like us. Um, and it was, the same kind of thing. If you didn't tune in at the right time for the show, you just missed it. Um,
What
which
what year
was,
was this? Like what time frame?
that would have been around like 2015, 2016.
See, I don't know where I was, but no, I've never seen any.
Well, it was already behind the power curve, because when we started doing it over there, I would mention it to people and they'd be like, "Oh, like a podcast?"
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you missed the
And I'm
boat.
like, And I'm like, no, it's like a radio show, but it's on the internet. And they're like, yeah, like a podcast.
Talking a foreign language, man. I still don't know what the hell you're talking about.
So, I mean, but yeah, then when we started doing it on our own, um, you know, the I'm trying to remember. I think what the way we would do it, we would do the show live because it was just like a radio show. If you weren't on the website as opposed to dialing your radio to the right station at our show time, you missed it. But we would take the shows and then upload them to like SoundCloud. That was where the archive was. So
Okay, I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, but it was strange. And it was already like podcasts were already taking over from that. So that, I mean, it was like a tiny little blip on the radar of technology.
How did you get into? I mean, if you can tell me or you don't mind asking, how did you get into internet radio? Like, how was that your job?
Well, Eric, one of his day jobs is he's an audio engineer. So he's got his own recording studio. And actually like gets paid. The big thing he's doing now is audiobooks a lot. So
Okay.
authors come to him and they're like, I want to record my audiobook. So he knew kind of the technical side of doing that.
Yeah.
And in fact, in college, he had done college radio on a regular, like, FM radio station down in
Oh, yeah.
Alamosa.
Yeah. So you got a history
And
show. That's great.
yeah, he had a history in that. And then because he's crazy, he got the equipment to do like hit kind of underground FM radio, which is illegal. And somehow I guess thought he wouldn't get caught, and he did. And then shortly after that, he hooked up with this dude, Craig, who was looking at this internet radio thing. And Craig was like, look, I need somebody that knows the technical side of this. It looks
Yeah.
like you do. And through the internet, there is no licensing. It's if you can get a website, you got a station. So, and you're not bound by the FCC. So even back then, we were dropping F-bombs when, that felt like the right thing to do. Talking about stuff that they never would have allowed on, maybe on something like Sirius XM, but definitely not on an FM radio station. So,
Now, I mean, I feel like maybe on like YouTube would get shut down. I feel like, some of that stuff gets cut out pretty quick.
well, it's weird, man. The internet used to be like the Wild West of this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And
now
now it's so, they're like, oh no, but it's like, but it's gone the way where like, it seems like the things that they should restrict aren't the things that they actually restrict, They're
Well,
like,
the
oh,
worst
you
part
think
about
the
it,
wrong way.
I think the worst part about it is that's why, like, if you've seen my show, like the very beginning, I put like this thing up for a couple seconds. It's like all these words. It's too hard to read. But like in it, if you read it, it just says like, we're all here for fun. We're just here talking. If we say anything that, offends anyone, we're not like, that's not even the way we're using it. We don't know it's used that way, or we don't know that's a bad thing. Like, people are say just a phrase like, white paper, and white paper somewhere has a meaning or something. We're not going after that. You can't say we are. It's just an accident,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I don't know. It's wild. So, I mean, and part of that too is why we don't restrict ourselves to YouTube. So when we do the live shows, we stream to YouTube, just because they're the biggest one. And then we stream to our Facebook page, which is, a lot of times, probably not right now, because kind of our biggest fan is actually down in Puerto Rico doing cleanup for the hurricane damage down there. She does. She's like a lineman, so she does like power line
Oh wow. Yep.
installation and repair. But a lot of times, at least she'll be on and like chat with us. And every once in a while we get some other people that chat with us. That's the other aspect of the live show that I like, is we can have some audience interaction.
Yeah, I think that's a cool. I never
But then we
tried
also
today, I-
we also stream it out on Rumble, which their whole thing is, if it's not illegal to say, we're not going to take it down. And you know, that's kind of why we picked that as another alternative, is like, they're, you know, they're not going to mess around with, oh, someone got upset by this. They're like, well, is what they say a crime? Well, no. Cool. Then it stays up. Go fuck yourself.
Can you do all that right here from like your Restream studio? Like it automatically live streams them?
Well, yeah, it's because it's kind of one of a smaller platform. With something like Restream or StreamYard, you have to do it manually. So you have to get like your stream key and all that. But once you plug that in, you're set up and you go.
Cool. Two things that I laughed about. Well, the second one I forget already, but I want to talk to him. Like if he ever comes, you guys ever come on our show, like our show is going to be an interview about his underground FM radio station. That was an
oh yeah,
topic.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
that was very short-lived. Like as soon as his signal went up, someone from the FCC was knocking on his door.
I was gonna hear, like the story of that raid, what he told all of his family and friends, you know, all as I fucked up. Sorry.
Yeah, that's wild. And you know, it is a weird, like, I think he could answer this much better than I could, and I'm not trying to put words in his mouth or anything, but I will say, I think the thought process was kind of, well, if no one's using this frequency, like who cares? And I get that, but it's like, they do care.
It's one of those things you don't even think you're doing anything, and then you know there's a raid and you're arrested. You're like, what the hell?
It didn't go quite that far. It was like, you can't do this, so stop. And he was like, okay, I'll stop.
Yeah, I've gotten some stop things before for different things. I like that. It's like a slap on the wrist. Like, hey, shouldn't be doing that. All right, I'm done.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and I think it would have been more serious if he was like stepping on somebody that did the right thing and got a license.
Right.
You know, which if you have a more powerful signal, you can do that. But yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to. He can't defend himself. But what type of FM channel did he have then?
I have no idea, because I came into the situation after that. He told me the story
I'm gonna
afterwards.
have that's interview.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to go off track with this here, but that's kind of like my motto, you know. But well, I'm glad it's Rebels, because it went in and out of my brain. So let's keep going.
Well, that's all right, man. Well, speaking of radio, I'm going to bring up a news story. Like I said, every once in a while we cover some news stories.
Important, and you need the real take on it.
This one I found, and I found it quite interesting. I think this could be a place where we could all, if this podcasting thing doesn't work out and our lives really go to shit, we could end up doing this. So we'll have a look. There we go. So I'm just going to play this, and and we'll talk about it as it goes.
All right, we're going to begin this hour with a story about second chances and finding a new purpose in life. Nancy Chen visited a radio station that's become the first of its kind in the country, and she got to know a little bit more about the powerful stories of the people behind the microphone.
It is 42 past the hour. Spinning this music for you, man.
90 miles east of Denver, this Colorado radio station runs like any other.
And it's a local story for us.
And I've got a good show in store for you today.
But the on-air hosts are inmates. Here is our correctional facility.
Testing mic 1, testing mic 2.
Jody Aguirre has been in prison for 3 decades. Where he goes and when are strictly limited. but his voice is one of a handful.
So imagine the scenery as you listen to the words to this song.
Now traveling far beyond the barbed wire fences. Broadcast to all of Colorado's correctional facilities and streamed online to the public. This is Inside Wire.
It's a clever name too, Inside the Wire.
I mean,
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All I can say is, I mean, prison's not that bad, I guess, right?
I guess not. I suppose it depends on what you're in there for, whether or not you get on something like this. But I don't know, because the first dude they talked about has been there for like 30 years. He must be doing a pretty good hitch.
So, I mean, if they have a podcast in prison, they must be up to date on current events and everything. They talk about anything. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
That might be a good listen. I'm gonna
Inside Wire.
might learn some, you know, School of Hard Knocks stuff on there.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I don't know. That's
You might have to guess on that.
like I said.
Guess.
Yeah, I don't know. They do go through. I want to just get to
First and only statewide prison radio system.
Coming up right now, we're going to go into a nice soft song.
What do you like most about being on a radio station?
We are being something better than we've been told we've been all of our lives. It's appreciating the now, the right here and now.
Aguirre is one of 14 inmates selected across 4 prisons to DJ and produce shows on Inside Wire, which launched in March.
Yeah, Inside Wire.
And I am back once again to help you get your morning started off on the right track.
Though the station broadcasts 24/7, each episode is
Do what?
I could see one day something happening, like while they're on the air. You know, like things go wrong, like a prison fight.
Like a riot?
Like somebody could go, rogue at any moment.
Well, I think it's funny. The dude's like, "I'm here to help you get your day started on the right foot." I'm like, I think you've had a bunch of days where you didn't start on the right foot if you're in there.
How many years here? I think I'll take my chances with my way.
But hey, I mean, good for them. Yeah.
But, I bet you it is fun though, because people in prison, they like to make things up. They like to make up stories. I'm sure there's a lot of good things that come from that show.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Well, I'd be curious. It seems like it's more. We're gonna play music. I don't know. I'd be curious how tight they keep the this is what you can talk about. This is definitely off limits.
Probably not.
I don't know.
I bet you they're not that controlled that. They
well. I guess I'd have to listen. I don't know. I haven't gotten up to check it out. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have time to do anything though. I always think that, like the guy I talked to, Roger, he's going to be on my show here. But he's like procrastination. Like you always say you're going to do something. I'm going to listen to this. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to go here, do it like that. That's why I'm so bad with that. Because I didn't even think about it until he said it, but that's just procrastination. Probably. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I don't know that I ever will. I don't know. It's but at least I know that if I go to prison, I can keep doing some kind of show.
Yep.
Apparently they'll let me do that. All right. And then
our connection.
have you heard about this
I think was it from
have you heard about this new awesome Santa Claus movie that's coming out? Uh-oh, am I losing you? I think. Are you still there?
No.
Oh, there you are. All right, cool. Have you heard about this new Christmas movie that's coming out? It's an interesting take on Santa Claus. Well, I think this speaks for itself.
You ain't driving, are you?
I steer a little, but the ranger do most of the work.
This is my 4th year as a Santa.
Which one are you talking about?
I started the whole damn thing. We decided that you could have one gift.
What is it?
That is a direct hotline Santa Claus himself.
I can talk to Santa.
All right, travelers. Welcome to your worst Christmas ever.
Let's go!
Uh-oh.
You have $300 million in your personal vault. That's what I want for Christmas.
I've never seen a take on
I don't want any trouble, okay? So just scoot up that chimney.
So this is a topic. This is a topic that comes up a lot on my show because I like talking about it. Because, like, these movies are like, I hate to say this, but like, I know, like, on weekends when I come home, like after I had some drinks, I sit down and I think, and like, my things down about these movies, and they're like stupid crap like that. I feel like people are just writing down these drunk ideas they're writing down, and then they make it that, you know.
Well, I'll say this. At least this is an original idea, and it's not like just a rehash or remake of, you know, an 80s TV show, which seems to be what most movies are made from now.
I agree. It's just like these ideas, though, are just so out there. I just love them. Like, these people, like, to come up with all something. Like, I wouldn't just think of that, you know, office desk at 2 p.m.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
never
like
know. I guess you never know.
the kind of Santa's a badass angle, which let's see. I'm gonna play a little bit more of it because they really get into some of that.
Who is he? Because he's not your typical mall Santa.
Santa, are you there? Daddy said you were very busy tonight.
Santa's kicking ass.
My name's Trudy Lightstone. Are you gonna help us, Santa?
Yeah, Trudy.
Santa?
You're on my nice list. Santa Claus is coming to town. Time for some season's beatings.
Who the hell are you?
He even gets a nice little
What if he really is the real?
No such thing as Santa.
he even gets a nice little catchphrase with that season's beatings.
Yeah.
They're all my naughty list.
It's like, that's what I find the most funny with it, though. Like, it's like corny moments is where I laugh the hardest, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So you get the idea.
I don't know if I would see that one. I'll be honest, I don't think that's going to be on my list. I appreciate their idea. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it looks fun. And like I said, it's at least an original idea.
One of my yeah.
Do what? I lost you there.
Our connection's still a little off. That's why we're getting on top of each other there.
Yep.
No worries. But yeah, that one there.
Yeah, yeah.
So it shows
And
me
then there.
when you kind of asked me about, went on talking about a man. First was, but like I remember.
Oop, I didn't catch much of that. Then it looks like your connection dropped. Looks like it's coming back. Say that again, because I missed it. Are you back?
Sorry, man. I don't know what's going on.
That's all right, man. I don't either. It looks like you're.
All right, we can Can you hear me?
Well, sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. So, on my end, it looks like it's I get like a little signal strength meter or whatever, and it's
Right.
every once in a while it's dipping down into yellow, and then that's when you start getting choppy and I can't hear you.
Yeah. All right, but I mean, if we're back on somewhat of a pattern here, we can communicate like this, just like a second delay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So saying that my intro, kind of to your platform, man tools, the YouTube handyman. I was going to tell you about a funny story. So when I moved most recently, I sold my house with a like, what's the thing? Do this for it to go through. Anyway, it was a leaky. So I decided I was going to, fix a leaky faucet. Watched a YouTube video, bought all the supplies. I knew what I had to do, but I was just waiting to do it. So one day I was up in the shower, I just cut the grass or something. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do that right now. I was like, I can't get I'd take my clothes off. I was going to hop in the shower. I was like, sink. So I turned off the water, start taking off the spigot, all water everywhere, shooting against the ceiling, against the wall. My wife hears a noise in the back. There's 2 inches of water, and I'm there naked trying to stop the water. And on top of that, it's cold because I forgot to shut off the cold water. I only shut off the hot water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up getting it, but yeah, I forgot the cold water. So the worst experiences of my life. But we got it fixed.
Well,
thanks to YouTube.
I'm glad to hear it turned out all right. Yeah, you got to be careful. Those sometimes those YouTube videos can make you a little more confident in your skills than you should be.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, the videos on the internet are just not realistic. I mean, I've tried things too. They say like, trying to think of examples. I can't think of any right now, but it's so easy to do this with a 2 liter of soda or whatever it is, and it doesn't work. You try it at home, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, a few years ago, my dishwasher, trying to remember what was wrong with it. I don't know, something burnt out in it. And so I'm watching some YouTube videos on how to troubleshoot it. And there's a piece in the door that you can pull out and like
sometimes you have to like clean food and shit out of that. Um, and I had never opened the thing up like that. And I get to this step in the YouTube video, and this is the part I'm struggling with is I can't figure out how to get this piece open and out. And in the YouTube video that says, here's how to fix this problem, because I've kind of figured out what the problem is at that point. The guy in the video does just a smash cut to, all right, well, now this is open. And I'm like, what the fuck? So apparently that thing was hard enough that even like a pro like this guy was like, he must have, you know, that portion of the video, he must have been cussing and like using a hammer and all kinds of shit.
Yeah. Figure it out. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, they're either like the videos get, like you said, they make it so easy, but then in yours, and it's either the slight bit different, or it's maybe a bit more corroded, or something breaks that's not supposed to break, and then you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah. 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 You know, they're, they can be helpful, but if you think it's as easy as it looks on that YouTube video, you're going to be in for a surprise. Yeah, another one that was like,
thing, your man.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So I was gonna, you know, Man Tools is your show. So you guys, I can't ask him; he's not here. But you are you just something that always happens to me? I'm building a sample. I know I did this, a grill or a crib, and the directions are right there. But you know, you feel like you can do it. You just do it. Well, then you got last step, and you realize, oh, I should have read the directions. There's something. Or when you do read the directions, you still do it backwards. How often does that happen?
Oh yeah, that happens to me fairly frequently. Especially like you mentioned a crib. I was putting together, I think it was a bunk bed for my daughter, and it was a used IKEA bunk bed. So I bought it off of Craigslist and just kept my fingers crossed that all the parts were there. And had to look up on the internet the instructions because he didn't have them anymore. So I printed the instructions from IKEA. And
oh my God,
this is the mistake I always make. Oh yeah. This is where I learned to never do this anymore, because this was the mistake I would always make with that type of furniture. For whatever reason, I had the tendency to, when it told you to like screw something together or bolt something together, I'd get it nice and tight. And then it didn't say before this to do that, but I got all the way to the end, and I at this point I forget exactly how it wasn't working, but the problem boiled down to all of those screws and stuff that were all tight. Things still needed to move around for me, and they weren't. So I should have left everything loose until I had that last step, and then go back through and tighten everything up nice and tight. But yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, it's like a bar across.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, I had to get something in there, and I had bolted everything down.
Yep. I've probably done that. We just feel like we're too smart for the directions, and then.
Well, it's like something like that though. They usually don't say in the directions like, now don't make stuff too tight, which it seems like they should, like, don't tighten everything until the end. Yeah, it's always like some weird Allen wrench that only they make.
I have so many of those Allen wrenches out in like a little coffee mug outside. Just I throw them all in there. I don't know if I'll ever need them again, but
you never know. I've had them come in handy a couple of times, but the shitty thing is when I haven't seen a lot of this, but a couple is when they make their own like proprietary wrench and bolts. So it's like, well, it's only going to work with this brand of stuff. And, if you lose it, you got to buy another one that will only work with this brand of stuff.
We got to give it. I think we're having another issue on my end now. I apologize.
That's all right, man. It looks like you're back. I didn't hear that.
Still got me?
There we go. Yeah.
All right, I'm trying. Doing
That's all right, man.
the best we can here, I guess.
That's all right. I guess we'll kind of finish off with some sports here. But if you've watched the show, we don't cover kind of the
So,
typical
before
sports
you go to
normally.
Oh, yeah, we got on top of each other again. Go ahead. Tip.
Well, we usually don't cover kind of the normal, football, baseball type stuff. We like to get into some more obscure things. So, I really like this story.
I like
that. This is about a powerlifting grandma.
Oh my goodness.
If you've ever felt that you needed an extra lift in life, we have just the person for you. CBS's Meg Oliver introduces us to an inspiring grandmother who's winning gold in her golden years.
When Nora Langdon turned 65, she needed a change.
I was in bad shape. I weighed too much, and I couldn't go up and down the stairs without getting tired.
Langdon went to Royal Oak Gym in Michigan and asked Art Little to train her in powerlifting.
When you first met Nora, did you think a world champion was standing before you?
No, ma'am.
Little was hesitant, but Langdon was hooked, determined to master all 3 events in the sport. She trained for 2 years.
That's wild.
Now, just shy of her 80th birthday, the grandma holds more than 20 national and world records, with personal bests of 413 pounds in the squat, 381 in the deadlift, and 203 for the bench press.
She upped the game not only for people her age, but for everybody. The young people, they get involved because of her.
Competing in November,
That's wild to think about her being that strong.
All 3 events.
That's crazy.
How old do you feel?
I feel like I'm 50.
Wow.
Never.
Lifting her spirits to new heights.
I hate watching weightlifting videos. The ones that go bad,
Yes, and when they go bad, they can go really bad.
Can't watch them. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's a crazy story. Sure. I can't imagine doing that. I can't imagine doing that right now. I wouldn't be able to lift that kind of weight.
It's wild because I'm a big fan of strength sports like powerlifting and strongman. And one of the reasons I'm a fan is, despite what a lot of people think, they're actually a lot easier on your joints than like running. Well, especially running. Running is horrible for your joints. But it's strength training is a great way to keep kind of keep yourself active and keep your joints moving around in a way that doesn't put a lot of strain on them.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, I'm finally getting to the age where I realize like I need to do something. So I'm starting to try to do the workout thing. I'm not great at it yet, but I'm trying to get there.
Well, nowadays you can like what I've been doing a lot is I've kind of gotten out of doing the whole gym thing, but I got this set of like resistance bands
Yeah.
that just and I just been doing that like 2 or 3 days a week.
I mean,
As long as you're
does that do the same as like weight?
it's the important thing is that you're still pushing or pulling against something. The bands are a little different. And you kind of have to modify how you do some things to accommodate that, because the problem with that you run into with the bands, I'll tell you exactly what it is as the band stretches more, it gets heavier,
Mhm.
and as it's closer together, it's lighter. Obviously, with
Okay.
say a barbell on your back doing squats or something, it weighs whatever it weighs the whole time. That doesn't change like it does with the bands. So, but I don't know. To
Is
me,
that part of why it's good for you or something?
I don't know. I just started doing it with the bands. It started kind of with the pandemic thing when they shut down all the gyms, because I was going to the gym 2 or 3 times a week,
Right.
and this just became like easier for my schedule. Although I kind of missed some portions of like the ritual. It's
Mhm.
it's so easy to just go to your own bedroom and pull out your bands and like your pull-up bar and do your thing. So as convenience wise, it's like you can't beat it. I think my next step,
Yeah.
possibly, we'll see what the wife thinks of this, is maybe spending some money to get some weights for the house, but I don't know. I just don't have the time for like you drive to the gym, you um a lot of times you're waiting for somebody to finish what they're doing with a piece of equipment that you want. Then you finally get to do your
Yeah,
thing
I
with
don't
that.
I'm
It's like,
that's why I don't like the gym, and I never went to the gym, but, like, now I'm trying to do this thing real early in the morning, so there's not a type of thing. Yeah, I enjoy being at the gym.
yeah, yeah.
People love that too. There's people that just love being there all the time.
Oh, there definitely are. Yeah, there definitely are. Well, good for this lady for making a change in her life for
Do
the
you guys
better.
ever
That's awesome.
some interest show? Like,
I'm losing you again.
yeah, it's going in and out.
All right, try saying that again.
I'm still here.
All right,
My
try saying
connection,
that
everything
again.
looks to be fine. It's such a we're just up on one another, I think. We're 10-second delay. Okay.
All right, say that again.
Hey.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Second delay. Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I can't
All
tell
right.
that.
So where did we leave off? What were we chatting about? Guess. So what's some of the wildest guess you've had on the show?
The wildest that probably comes to mind is actually the guy that we had on last week. He I guess doesn't currently manage OnlyFans models, but he used to, and now he continues to work with them in like social media and marketing stuff. But that was pretty interesting. You know, kind of basically a digital pimp.
Now, that's one of those ones I asked, and not the interview. Like, I'm just saying, like, is it possible here? I'm in it.
That was pretty broken up.
No, we lost it. If you can, you still got me?
Yeah, say that again.
Okay. So I was saying, I'm sure that's a great interview and a great story. I didn't get to hear it, but just hearing the premise of it, like, was there any parts of it where you questioned or maybe other parts of the interview, I guess?
You mean like if he was legit and he had actually done any of that?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't like show receipts or anything, but he seemed knowledgeable enough about how OnlyFans
Yeah,
kind of
he's
work from an inside.
So I don't want to bring any bad, I'll just tell you about one of my guests. So I put out a person to come on and talk about MK Ultra. Did you ever hear about MK Ultra?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So when I brought him on, like, we were talking and I was asking him questions, and like he just was taking things like, they were doing pieces really want the show to go, and like
Right.
I did when I watched it back, oh my God, I can't put that out there for the public to see, that was a rough story. I don't know whether or not it was, fact or fiction, but it was a rough story. I wasn't going to put it on.
Well, see, you don't have to worry about that with a live stream. It's just on.
Exactly. That's kind of where I'm at. Like I might want to dip my toes in, but I'm a little scared just to go full on. Because that shows I'm doing. It's so it's make me believe. The premise is I'm going to ask these people, listen, if you want to come on the show and make me believe in whatever, you're more than welcome to come on. But just know that I'm going to ask questions.
Right.
So if you can't defend prepared, I'm going to ask you questions that would have a decision, an informed decision. So the show's going to be called the Rabbit Hole.
That sounds pretty cool.
It doesn't mean I'm going to believe it.
Right. Yeah. And that's, I mean, especially if you're going to say something wild, you need to be able to back it up.
Yeah. And I mean, I know there's crazy stories out there, and I'm excited to hear, but I also know there's going to be bullshit there. So.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Well,
yeah, the internet.
Before we go, why don't we why don't you let the fine folks know where they can find you, your social medias and your websites and all that stuff?
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. On your net. Spotify, Twitter, main ones, but everything has something out there. It's just Lude Presents. And, I hope we can do this. We have things go a little smoother. We'll talk to Eric.
Hell yeah.
But thanks, appreciate it. Then
Yeah.
set up
Thanks
again.
for hanging out, man. So yeah, go check out Lude Presents everywhere you can find them. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, man. All right, the boss man. We're gonna do our week in his story, and then we'll be on our way as well. But before that, I am going to pay a couple of bills. If I can find it. There it is. All right.
On my way over here, my brakes made an awful noise, and the last time I got them done, it was so expensive.
You should go to EXO AutoWorks. They did a great job on mine, and it was way cheaper than anywhere else I've been.
That sounds great. I need to get their number from you.
At EXO AutoWorks, we offer the best price on brake service in town. We include brand new brake pads, rotors, and hardware, which saves you money and gets you on the road faster. See our website for a full list of our services. Call EXO AutoWorks today.
This is Vinny. He loves his beard. He loves his woman, and she loves him. But Haiti doesn't like the look and feel of his beard. Wait a minute. What's this? It's Day Liquid Tonic Beard Oil from The Beard Struggle. That's gonna alleviate dry skin and irritation. What she got now? It's Warrior's Beard Butter from The Beard Struggle. That's gonna make his beard soft and fluffy. And what's this? The Carbon X Heated Beard Brush from The Beard Struggle. That's gonna straighten those curls. There's more. The Voxter Beard Growth Accelerator from The Beard Struggle. That's to stimulate hair growth. The Beard Struggle helps to build relationships. Used by thousands of men worldwide. Order online now from thebeardstruggle.com.
Use the code TLANE15 for 15% off your order.
Fitting the first and the flank. Get it started. It's fired and it's right.
This week in his story is brought to you by gold. Gold is, of course, the historically best investment in terms of always having some kind of value, and Vaulted is the best way to invest in gold. Vaulted is an alternative savings account and app for investing in physical, deliverable gold, and all of your assets are stored at the Royal Canadian Mint. So check them out at mantoolsmedia.com/vaulted. And yep, I'm going to put it up right here. There it is. I just scrolled past it. That's mantoolsmedia.com/vaulted and get the historical value of gold today. This week in his story, October 20th, 2011, in the Libyan Civil War, rebels captured deposed dictator Muammar Gaddafi in his hometown of Sirte, killing him very soon afterward in a very brutal fashion. If you've seen any of those videos on the web, there, of course, is an image of him bloodied up, about to be finished off. Let's see, October 22nd, 1999. Maurice Papon, formerly an official in the Vichy France government during World War II, is jailed for crimes against humanity for his role in deporting more than 1,600 Jews to concentration camps. Vichy France was an interesting thing in World War II. It was a autonomous region in France, or I guess technically a separate country. It only existed from like 40 to 44 and was basically a Nazi vassal state. Although they existed before the Nazis got there, but they were so Nazi-ish that when the Germans took the rest of France and asked them, the Vichy French government, there's a story that they asked them to send Jewish men of certain ages to go, we're going to take them and send them to labor camps back in Germany, kind of a thing. The Vichy response was, could you just take all the Jews? So, yeah, they were some bad people. Let's see, October 23rd, 2004. An earthquake in Japan kills 35, injures 2,200, and leaves 85,000 homeless or displaced. And as you can see in that image, because Japan is an island, anytime they have crazy earthquakes there, it basically always causes tsunamis. So that's rough. I'm surprised only 35 people died. That's yeah. Let's see, October 24th, 1931, Al Capone, the, of course, Prohibition-era Chicago gangster, is sent to prison for tax evasion because they couldn't get him on anything else. Let's see, October 25th, 1854, during the Crimean War, a brigade of British light infantry was destroyed by Russian artillery. This was immortalized in the poem The Charge of the Light Brigade, which inspired the song The Trooper by Iron Maiden. And of course, you can see the album cover there. And then in, let's see, October 25th. Nope, that's the one I just did. October 26th, 2001, dark day. The United States Patriot Act is signed into law by President George W. Bush. It, of course, greatly expanded the intelligence and legal agencies of the U.S. government to utilize wiretaps, record searches, and surveillance. And, yep, one of those shitty things to come out of 9/11, as we discussed in our 9/11 episode on locals. But that, of course, brings us to the end of the week in his story. And unfortunately, that's also the end of our show. We do want to leave you with kind of what's going on in our world. It's kind of fun. With some plugs. So Saturday, October 29th at 7:30 p.m. you can catch Facing Forward's final farewell and Halloween bash at Back East Bar and Grill right here in Colorado Springs. The end of an era. I was recently featured on the Sophisticated Delinquent podcast discussing my military service and some veterans' mental health issues, as well as the use of psychedelics and MDMA in treating PTSD for veterans. So get that anywhere that you listen to podcasts. That, again, is called the Sophisticated Delinquent podcast. Get in your NFL Pick'em. Get in our NFL Pick'em pool. Go to playaction.pub/mantools and get your picks in for week 7, which started tonight. And use the code TOOLS for 15% off if you create your own contest. Locals members, be on the lookout for this month's new video, our Halloween special that will be coming soon. And you can join Locals for just $3 a month. You'll get stuff like that Halloween special and, as I mentioned, the 9/11 episode. Merch is now available directly from us, so grab that at mantoolsmedia.com/shop. And the fish stream 24/7. Relax with some tranquil fish and soothing music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, unless the stream goes down and I don't know it, which occasionally happens. But you can check that out at Twitch TV
/fishstream247. And of course, thanks to our sponsors, EXO AutoWorks, Enharmonic Studios, The Beard Struggle, Madrid Maintenance, Valley Food Storage, Play Action Pools, and Vaulted Gold Investment. And thanks to you for watching or listening. Of course, please check us out on the web at mantoolsmedia.com, and you can get all of our social media links at links.co/mantoolsmedia. We, meaning both Eric and I believe, we'll see you next week. So tune in again next week, same time, same channel, same bat time, same bat channel, same man time, same man channel, for some more fun with Man Tools. Until then, good night, everybody.